Epiphone.
Yepperphone.
Yep.
It's not an Oprah it's a Yepperphone at this price.
Yep.
Play and Trade Guitars is giving away this Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul to one of you. How to enter? Subscribe to Play and Trade Guitars on YouTube, and we'll give it away when we hit 50,000 subscribers.
For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John, and that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. Today, we're continuing our series looking at the best-selling Epiphone and Gibson Les Pauls. Today, we're talking about the Epiphone Les Paul Custom in Arctic White. Let's open this box, Zach, and get to work. At the top, make sure you're subscribed. We're giving away a Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul when we hit 50,000 subscribers. The Gleam entry link is down in the description. And if you're shopping for a new guitar, we've partnered with Zounds, one of the biggest retailers, to bring you a look at the best-selling and newest guitars from brands like Gibson and Epiphone. And if you're interested in this Epiphone Les Paul Custom, you can find the link in this right here, this link right here, and down in our description. But I'm telling you right now, this might be one of those must-own guitars from Epiphone, and we'll tell you all about it. Let's get to work. So this guitar from Epiphone is straight from the factory, straight from Zounds. And we unboxed it. You can check out our video where we get in our first shipment of 10 Les Pauls. I'll tell you something, we have a wall of Les Pauls behind us right now, and something amazing, truly amazing. This $729 Epiphone Les Paul Custom is the only guitar on this entire wall that has an ebony fretboard. Yes, this is the only one with an ebony fretboard. And I think when you think about the fact that Gibson Custom Shop is the only part of Gibson right now making a Les Paul Custom, they're not making them at Gibson USA right now, the price tag on that, you're pushing $4,500, $5,500 plus. For $729 to get the attributes of a Les Paul Custom with a real ebony fretboard and all the features that we're going to talk about today, kind of makes this guitar a steal and one that you really might want to consider owning. So drop a comment as we go and let us know what you think of the Epiphone Les Paul Custom. A couple features up top. So the Les Paul came out in 1952. In 1954, they introduced what they considered the tuxedo version of the Les Paul, the souped up Les Paul Custom. Ebony fretboard, beautiful white finish, binding, gold hardware, the works. It was truly supposed to be differentiated from the rest of the lineup as the standout tuxedo limousine version of the Les Paul. It's got the split diamond inlay, which is absolutely my favorite Gibson style headstock, is that split diamond inlay, which actually comes from an archtop Gibson that preceded the Les Paul. And I think that that look is just so iconic and so beautiful and just stands out and says money and says quality. Let's put it on the bench and talk specs. You're gonna get this open book inspired by Gibson look. You're gonna have a true ebony fretboard, which is really, really a standout feature on this guitar. Bound fretboard, you're gonna have block inlays, 22 frets, gold hardware all the way across the body, bound body, gold pickups. You're gonna have a Epiphone Pro Bucker 2 in neck and an Epiphone Pro Bucker 3 in bridge, which we'll take out and take a look at. This is a poly finish. So one thing to point out, it's not going to age like nitro. You see some of those beautiful like Randy Rhoads Les Paul Customs that age to that kind of that deep yellow. The poly will maintain its white. So actually some people prefer that. If you really like that Arctic white and you want it to hold up over time, the poly will actually preserve that bright white look better than the nitro, which will fade over time. You have a 1.68 inch standard Gibson nut. First fret reading 0.79, 12th fret reading 0.88, in line with a lot of the slim taper necks that we see. 1.9 inches. Pickups, we're looking at in neck position, a Pro Bucker 2, and in bridge position, a Pro Bucker 3.
What's going on? You good? Oh, wow.
Got a junky three-way switch. My one consistent complaint on Epiphones, many Epiphones, the build quality is good. The three-way switch is almost always junk. This one is mangled and barely keeps its position in rhythm or treble. And when you get a brand new guitar, you don't want this kind of play going on. See, it doesn't even want to stay. And it is unfortunate. It's basically a pot metal import three-way switch that's kind of a piece of junk, to tell you the truth. Compared to the rest of the quality of the build so far, that's just one disappointment. It just doesn't want to hold its position. So taking a look at this switch, it's got a lot of play in it, and that's funny, you know what? This is detached And if you get a look at that, the shaft of it actually completely broke from this switch. So this switch would have to be replaced. So the nice thing when you buy a brand new guitar from an authorized dealer, you send the guitar back, they send it back to Gibson, you get a brand new guitar.
All the more reason to start demoing them first. Make sure they work.
And just like that, we're back. Sound sent us a brand new Les Paul Custom. I've got it here with the strings on. Let's go ahead and get a pickup reading, and then we'll flip it over and look at the electronics. All right, so with the multimeter, we have a Epiphone Pro Bucker here in bridge, reading 8.3, 7.6 in the neck, and 3.9 combined. Great ring to it. I always love ebony. I started out playing a Les Paul with an ebony fretboard, and it's just such a nice feature to have on a guitar that's, you know, $700 something with a real ebony board. It's the only one in the whole lineup that we featured from our unbox that has a real ebony board, and I just can't get over that. All right, lifting up the control cavity, a nice feature of this guitar is that you have hand wiring, and these are some nice 500K CTS pots. So you have premium CTS pots in the guitar. 9 pounds, 2 ounces, so we'll call it 9.1 pounds. Good weight for a Les Paul. All right, well, we talked specs. Let's take this beautiful guitar over, plug it in, we'll get some DI clean tones, and then plug it into a Marshall and let it rip. Let's head over. Good pickup, good balance across the range here. I'm actually really impressed with the sounds of the DI cleans. Let's crank it up, let's put it in Marshall, and let's let it sing. right, this has been a look at the Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Beautiful guitar with a real ebony fretboard. The neck shape feels fantastic. I like the sound of the pickups. At $749, you cannot go wrong with this guitar. If you're interested, check out our Zounds link in the description. Make sure you're signed up for our 50K giveaway. We're giving away that beautiful Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul. And stay tuned because we're featuring the whole suite of best-selling Les Pauls from Epiphone and Gibson. Drop a comment and let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys in the next videos. Thanks for hanging out.